invoked. I would also like to thank the National Association of Attorneys grants to pursue these cases. And thank you again for coming. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Where's the money, the $3.1 million, where's that going?
It'll go to the general fund, and the legislature will get to decide how it's spent.
What are the other states involved in the lawsuit?
There will be a list at the
But
end.
it's just a lot, though.
It's a lot. It's 42, and us is 43. So we'll put a list of all the states. Yeah, and it's been over 4 years that we've been working. Meredith mostly and Jacob have been working on the case. So it's been a long time in coming.
Could you say any more about the extent to which this has been an issue for consumers in Vermont?
Sure. So the data that we have is in the past roughly 20 years, in the past 20 years, roughly 200,000 units of powder products were sold in Vermont. So of course they've been selling for a lot longer than that, but as a data point for you, I think that really paints the picture. Probably a lot of us are familiar with Johnson & Johnson baby powder, or Shower to Shower is another product that I'm aware of. Of course, I grew up working in the grocery store, so I know all the products, but I think that one's pretty mainstream as well.
Right now, how widespread would this impact be in terms of getting this product off of shelves?
Well, it's still, they have, since 2017, they have discontinued their use of talc in their baby powder, and it now uses cornstarch, which is pretty standard for powders, body powders like that these days. They started phasing it out starting in the 1990s. So hopefully the products that you might have in your bathroom today are containing cornstarch and not talc. But if you have old baby powders or bath powders in your bathroom, definitely throw them away. Yeah.
How did the settlement, how did the $3.1 million get calculated? Is that just, you don't need to go too into detail on that, but just we were wondering how Vermont arrived at that being the number and the damages.
Usually what happens, and Meredith can provide more information, but this might be all you need. Usually what happens is there's a calculation that's worked out among the states. And for example, a state who is on the executive committee or who initiated the case initially might be getting a little bit more money. That happens to us. In fact, the other big case we settled that we had a big number. That was part of the reason for the big number. And it also depends on market share perhaps, or population. So there's a calculation like that to make it fair that's worked out with the attorneys general nationally. Meredith, is there something more specific?
This was both. It was the population and the units market share. So they divided it up that way.
Yep.
And you said Vermont was not the executive?
No, it wasn't for this one.
We were on the working group.
Yeah.
Okay, so not one of the kind of lead.
Right. Sometimes we are, sometimes we're not. We like to be in the lead, but we only have pretty much all the lawyers in our office are here right now, and they have lots in other states. So, yeah.
I think we probably are pretty broadly aware, but could you just speak a little bit, just to hear from you about the potential negative health impacts of this, like more specifically? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, asbestos is a naturally forming substance that is often found in talc. So we're focused on asbestos as the health risk. And exposure to asbestos can cause asbestosis, mesothelioma as a cancer, and many other types of ailments. But I think those are the two most common. The allegations, and we didn't get into this because we're focused on the consumer protection case. And if you look into some of the private lawsuits, you'll see that there's also allegations of ovarian cancer because the powder products were used on the body in various places. I'm not going to go into a lot of details. I think you can do the math.
And for those class action lawsuits, I know you said it's going to be in the press release.
Yeah, there's just a link.
Just a link with the state website, or is it a separate?
It's totally separate from us. So we're focused on the Consumer Protection Act is about misleading, unfairness, things like that in the marketplace, and those are personal injury claims, so they're separate. But we'll have a link to the, I mean, it's a pithy, I don't think I actually have it in my notes, but we'll put a link, or you can probably Google it and find it well enough, but we'll put it in the press release, which will go out shortly, so you'll have that if you want to, have that be a part of your story. So, but yeah, I would say the main takeaway is the settlement is $3.1 million for the state over 4 years, and we're really pleased with this outcome, and I am really pleased to be holding Johnson & Johnson accountable for these bad acts. So. Great. Thank you so much for coming, everyone, and thanks again to the amazing team for all their work on this. It's been several years, so it's really a really good result for Vermont.
Thanks.
Great, thanks. And I'm sorry that this room isn't to your liking, Liam.
I got very high standards, it's really difficult.
The Cedar Creek room, we were like kind of like coming down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm comfortable with the Cedar Creek.